Hey everyone! So this is the time of year when you get home from work and you want to take advantage of the little bit of nice weather that we have left of the day. And I just wanted to come out and water the few things that I have, like the stuff that I put in this bed and also the stuff that I have over here. And I'm also sowing some extra seeds. I'm sowing some more seeds. I've got here in this little bucket here, I had zinnias in here that last year, but I'm gonna start some borage in here. And then once it germinates and starts to grow and whatnot, then I will probably transplant it out, in various places in the garden, if I don't already sow more seeds elsewhere. But this is going to be borage, and I'm mainly doing these videos so that I can remember where I plant things. So I'm pretty much not going to be filming too much. I'm just going to go ahead and as I'm sowing the different things in the different places, I'll put the seed packs like right there and then take a picture of it. That way I know what I planted there, so that I can come back later if I decide to come back later and label it, or I could just refer back to my pictures. So that was borage. Over here I sprinkled the rest of what was in that marigold pack right there in the corner of that bed. I did mizuna, and there was bunching onions along here. I believe bunching onions down the middle, red mustard, and then broccoli rabe, I think. So I don't think, oh, you know what? I do see some things coming up. I believe I do. Look at all those little green sprouts there. That's my broccoli rabe. I think that's my broccoli rabe. Could be the onion. No, because it's over here, and this is where I did the broccoli rabe. So yeah, it's coming up. All right, guys, so that's what I'm doing today. I'm sowing seeds. Now, I have decided that what I'm gonna do for the garden this year is I am gonna concentrate on sowing things that I want. I'm gonna concentrate on sowing things that I want to come back every year on its own. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be a perennial, but it'll be a self-seeding annual. And what that means is I will sow the seed, and then once it goes to seed, I will just let it drop its seed where it's at. And then every year I should be able to get that to come back every year. So I have to decide what it is that I want where. Okay, because that's going to be the thing. It's going to come back every year. Now let me show you guys what I got here. So last fall I planted lettuce here. I planted some fall things here, and things didn't work out in my fall garden, and life happens, and I let everything burn up in the fall sun because it was hot last fall. But look at here, I've got lettuce coming up from lettuce that I sowed last year. Isn't that cool? I don't know if I'll have any more volunteers in this bed, but I've got lettuce that I didn't even have to plant this year. Look at that. I got some weeds in here too that I need to get out. That's a big one. But yeah. So some things that I have to do. I have got to get these weeds all out of here. My sage. This is my sage here. I'm sure it'll come back. It comes back every year. I think I had peppers in this bed last year. And there was some cilantro in here too. Usually my cilantro comes back every year. But I don't know. Yeah, it does. Because I let some seeds drop and then I harvest some seeds. So I should be getting some cilantro in here without having to plant it. But there's a lot of weeds in there. And I can't stand having to weed it all the time. These are some chives. These come back every year. Chives and bunching onions. If I don't harvest my bunching onions, they just keep coming back every year. They get a little bit bigger every year. I believe these are chives too. They're either chives or onions, whichever one. Mullein everywhere coming in. These were Brussels sprouts. They gotta come out of there. But yeah, so the idea is going to be, I'm gonna find the spots that I want, and I'm going to make sure that those are the spots that have the self-seeding annuals. So I'm thinking it's going to be this corner over here. So like over here in this corner. So over here in this small bed, and then over this way all the way to the corner, and then all the way this way to maybe there, or maybe all the way, yeah, I'm gonna go all the way to the block, the cinder block. Okay, so that'll be where it ends. So all of this to the corner and over, I'm gonna do self-seeding annuals, which means I'm gonna do collards. There's already kales in there, and they usually come back, although they're not looking very good. Anyhow, I will start some new kales, and I will just make sure that I leave them to come back every year, to seed and come back every year. So collards, kales, you know, different leafy greens. I'll probably put the Good King Henry in there, some amaranth, maybe some amaranth. What else? Herbs, a few herbs. I do have the sage on this side as well. But anyway, that's the plan. I'll figure out which greens I want, but for the most part, it's going to be leafy greens, and they might not be green, they might be red. But that's going to be the plan for this corner. I'm going to make sure that I sow some self-seeding annuals. That way I don't have to plant those things anymore. All right. The idea is to have a self-sustaining area of the garden that is just going to come back on its own every year. All right. So that's the plan, and that's what I'm about to get going. I'm going to get some of this cow manure, and I'm going to start amending some of these beds and get some of this stuff cleaned up and get some seeds out here. But I'm not going to take you guys along for that, because that's kind of boring just to watch me plant seeds. So anyhow, that's the plan for the garden this year. And the other side, the other half of the garden, I will do, you know, tomatoes, peppers, what have you, melons, you know, just whatever. And then I'm going to get over here and get this wood chip pile, finish spreading this wood chip pile out, and I'm going to use that side of the fence to put my grow pots. I got some more, a whole lot of pots back there, if you can see them. All these pots here, they all have to be amended, and they're all going to get peppers and tomatoes and what have you, and then those will go out here in this area outside the fence. So, you know, I like to change my mind, so, but that's what I'm thinking for right now. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Just checking in with you guys, just letting you know what's going on over here, what I got going on, what I'm doing, and what my plan is, because I want to create a garden where I have to do minimal as possible. So like peppers and tomatoes, you're just gonna have to plant that stuff every year. It's you can't get around it, at least in my area. But there are other things that I can plant out here that will self-seed itself, and I won't have to worry about planting that stuff every year. All right, guys, till next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye, guys.